Why am I schizophrenic? In this particular case, I asked this client to send me this question. It was a client I had on Skype a few days ago, and she asked the question, how can I deal with my illness? And the energy around her went down at that moment, which means what she was saying was not true, which means she didn't have a real illness. So then I asked her what the illness was, and she said, schizophrenia. I'm on medication all the time. I have found from many clients that have asked the same thing in years past, that the soul was not seeing this as an illness. And 99% of the time, what we were shown by the soul was that there is more than only one part of you inside your body. And you simply have to learn to separate the two. Of course, I did not understand this in the beginning, so I started asking more questions. And that is when I was shown through the client's higher self, about how the soul has many aspects. And it is only one aspect that usually takes, in this case, a human body. This is why all the books tell us you are so much more than just your body or just your earth personality. Anyway, back to the aspect. Again, I think I mentioned this in many videos. Imagine the soul as a diamond with many facets on it. We are simply one facet. And we take a human body and we start experiencing earth. Depending on what we want to do sometimes before we come to earth, more than one facet comes with us. We bring another facet as well. Many artists have this. And this is why we call them mad sometimes. Or we say he was struggling with his inner demons. They're not exactly demons. They are other parts of his or her soul that they don't know that they are other parts, and they think that they're crazy or that there is something wrong with them. Many highly successful people, especially in some, not all, in some governments, are like this. They have come down with more than one part of themselves in order to do the work they wanted to do. They needed more than one aspect of the soul. And because here on earth we consider this crazy, we simply label them crazy from the moment we identify this. They believe it, and then they have convinced themselves that they are crazy, or that they are mad, or that they are schizophrenic. But in reality, very, very few schizophrenics are a problem. Very few. Most of them simply need to be shown or to be told how they can understand that they have more than one part inside them, more than one part of their soul inside them, and that this is okay. And the reason this happened was because they wanted to accomplish more, not simply experience. For instance, this client that I had 3 days ago, one of the first things I saw was that she's supposed to be some sort of leader. But of course, being told she is schizophrenic, and being put on medication, she would never even imagine that she came here to be some sort of a leader. And as she says, this has never crossed my mind. Yes, because you're focused on your schizophrenia. So we need to start looking at schizophrenia as something that is not unnatural, something that is not bad. And this way we can assist these people in understanding that yes, they do have more than one part in them. It's not exactly two Yes, they do have more than one personality in them. It's not exactly an evil energy or a different energy. It's another part of their own soul that they have in them. And then they could do what they came here to do much easier if they know this. There are some extreme cases. Also, by the way, do not confuse multiple personalities with schizophrenia. It's two different things. Now, as with everything, there are some extreme cases of schizophrenia. We don't need to focus on that. How about we focus on the 99% that are not extreme, so that we could, I don't want to say the word help, because it's not so much that we need to help these people. We just need to assist them to understand. And then all of society will benefit from their, what we call schizophrenia. Because they can do things most of us cannot. Because they have access to more than one part of their soul. It's like having a doctor and a lawyer inside you. Something like that. You can accomplish so much more after that in your life. So, yes. Now, many people always ask, should I stop the medication? I have never gotten this from a client's higher self, stop the medication. I have never gotten it. So I can't say, yes, stop the medication. But I think if you understand that you simply have access to more than one aspect of your soul, the problem will become smaller and smaller and smaller, and then maybe you will not need the medication. However, because I have never heard this from a higher self, stop the medication, I cannot tell you this. What else about schizophrenia? A lot of us are schizophrenic, I should say. I have a feeling I might be as well. But because I'm aware of the fact that we are multidimensional, my mind automatically goes to, right now I am accessing a different part of my soul. For instance, when I work, I'm totally different than when I'm not working. So obviously when I'm working, when I'm doing this work, a different part of my soul comes in. People think that I'm all metaphysical and spiritual in my everyday life. I'm exactly the opposite. So, who knows? I might be schizophrenic. But it's not a problem for me because I don't listen to what people say anyway. So I would never allow someone to convince me that I'm schizophrenic. That's where the problem is. The problem is in the labels. We simply label someone, we rush to put them on medication. They believe that it's bad that they have access to another part of their soul. And then because your beliefs create your reality, you yourself have become a problem. Yes, I think that's all I have for this one.